This young woman is running through the middle of the woods, terrified for her life. Behind her, someone unknown is chasing her and shooting at her without mercy. The gunshots echo through the forest. Finally, one of the bullets strikes her in the stomach. She falls to the ground, bleeding heavily. The shooter approaches her body and, thinking she is dead, smiles with joy. Believing he has finally ended her life, he leaves the place. Hours later, the girl wakes up. She is shocked and horrified by what has happened. Barely holding on, she makes a decision. She will not die like this. She will take revenge on the person who tried to kill her. Welcome back to Movie Now. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me.
You're psycho.
It's a shame.
The movie begins by introducing us to Dania, a beautiful and bright college student. She is currently taking a break from her studies and staying at her family's home, enjoying some peace and relaxation. During her free time, she works part-time at a restaurant. The restaurant belongs to one of her mother's friends, so Dania is comfortable there and feels happy about her job. After finishing her shift at the restaurant one evening, she heads home late at night. One of her co-workers, Tommy, who clearly has feelings for her, constantly asks her to spend time with him. Tommy really likes Dania and makes his interest in her obvious. He repeatedly invites her to hang out, hoping that one day she will say yes. But Dania, although kind, has never agreed. She has not said yes to him even once. Despite this, Tommy doesn't give up and continues to pursue her. One day, Dania drives her car quickly on her way to work, and by chance, she gets pulled over by a police officer. The officer is young, charming, and good-looking. As soon as Dania sees him, she feels drawn to him. Instead of giving her a speeding ticket, the officer lets her go with just a warning. He tells her that if he ever catches her speeding again, he will have no choice but to write her a ticket. Dania is relieved and excited. That night, when she returns home, she cannot stop thinking about the officer. His name is David. The words he spoke and his confident presence replay in her mind. She spends the entire night and the following day thinking about him. Very quickly, she develops a crush on him. The next day, as if by fate, David walks into the restaurant where Dania works. She is shocked and thrilled to see him. The fact that he showed up at her workplace makes her feel incredibly happy, as though it is a sign that he feels the same way about her. David orders food, and when Dania approaches his table later to check on him, he invites her to sit and eat with him. Dania politely explains that she cannot, since she is working. Before leaving, David asks for her phone number. Excited but nervous, Dania gives it to him. From that day on, Dania and David begin talking regularly. They call and text each other, and when she is not working, they go out to different restaurants together. Their relationship develops quickly. Dania, who at first was simply interested, now truly likes David. Soon, she decides to introduce him to her family. When her parents meet David, they are impressed. They see him as a respectful, responsible man and believe that their daughter has chosen wisely. They even express happiness at the thought that Dania might marry him someday. With her parents' approval, Dania feels encouraged, and the relationship moves forward. Meanwhile, word spreads quickly around the town. Everyone begins to know about Dania and David as a couple. Her best friend, Suzanne, is also very excited. Suzanne is happy that Dania has finally found someone who seems good for her. She even comments that David is very handsome and admits that she likes him too, though she is happy for her friend. At first, everything seems perfect, but as time goes on, cracks begin to show. David's behavior starts to change. He becomes controlling and obsessive. If Dania doesn't answer his phone calls, even for a short while, he gets angry. He constantly questions her about where she has been, who she has been with, and what she has been doing. This controlling behavior begins to suffocate Dania. She feels trapped in the relationship and starts to dislike him. She confides in her mother, explaining that she no longer feels comfortable with David. Her mother listens carefully and advises her to end things. She tells Dania that a man who behaves this way, who questions and controls her constantly, is not a good man. Her mother insists that she stop seeing David before things get worse. The child listens closely to her mother's advice. After thinking about it, she finally tells David that she doesn't want to see him anymore. The moment David hears this, he completely loses control. His emotions explode. He becomes furious and cannot calm himself down. Even though Dania has clearly broken up with him, he keeps trying to force his way back into her life. He starts showing up everywhere, at her workplace, outside her home, and even breaking into her house. But no matter how many times he appears, Dania refuses to talk to him. She stands her ground and warns him that if he dares to come near her again, she will report him to the police. But here's the twist, David himself is a police officer. Instead of protecting her, he begins to use his authority in the worst way possible. Feeling insulted and rejected, he decides to follow her around, this time with dark and dangerous intentions. Soon, he starts spreading lies about her. He tells his friends and the people around town that he and Dania broke up. But he doesn't stop there. He goes further and says cruel things, like how Dania has drug problems and how he tried many times to help her but failed. He even claims that her friends are also drug addicts. Because David is a respected officer in the town, people believe his words without question. One by one, the townspeople start to turn against Dania. Even her own family begins to suspect her, wondering if what David said might be true. They get angry at her, believing their daughter might be using drugs. Dania is heartbroken. She tries to defend herself and tell the truth, explaining again and again that she has never touched drugs and is not that kind of person. But no one believes her. Even her family, the people she trusts the most, refuse to listen. One day, overwhelmed with anger and sadness, Dania drives her car at high speed, trying to clear her mind. But David follows her closely from behind. Out of nowhere, he rams his car into hers, causing her to lose control. Her vehicle crashes, and she is badly injured. Instead of helping her, David drags her bleeding body out of the car and throws her into his own. At that very moment, a group of kids are playing football nearby. They see the scene from a distance but don't realize the seriousness of what's happening. Believing it's nothing unusual, they remain silent and don't report what they saw. David then takes Dania deep into the woods. There, he reveals his horrifying plan. He tells her openly that he is going to kill her. With a twisted expression, he explains that no girl has ever treated him the way she did. No one has ever rejected him like this. He says that if he kills her right here, in the middle of the forest, no one will ever suspect him. Hearing this, Dania breaks down. She begs him for forgiveness, promising that she will never do anything to upset him again. But David is unmoved. He begins to load his gun, preparing to shoot her. In a moment of pure desperation, Dania suddenly takes off running. She pushes through the thick forest, branches scratching her skin, her breath heavy with fear. But David chases her like a predator. He raises his gun and fires several shots. The sound of bullets echoes through the trees. One of them finally hits her, and she falls to the ground. Believing she is dead, David approaches her body. Satisfied, he leaves her there in the woods and disappears into the night. When Dania doesn't show up at work the next day, her friends grow worried. They visit her house but can't find her. Soon, the police launch a search for her. When they ask David, since he is her boyfriend, where she might be, he lies smoothly. He says he hasn't seen her. With no clear evidence, the investigation continues, but no one can find her. The next day, David returns to the forest to bury her body. But when he arrives at the spot where she fell, he is shocked. Her body is gone. The movie then reveals the shocking truth. After David left, Dania had not died. She wakes up in pain, weak but alive. Summoning all her strength, she crawls away, desperate to survive. She stumbles upon a nearby house. Ironically, it belongs to David. She decides to hide there and wait. Hours later, David comes back home, unaware that Dania is inside. The moment he steps through the door, Dania strikes him on the head with a heavy object. But David is not so easily defeated. They struggle violently inside the dark house. At one point, David manages to turn off the lights, plunging the room into total darkness. Terrified, Dania hides, while David loads his gun, ready to hunt her down again. What follows is a chilling game of hide and seek, David stalking her through the shadows, and Dania trying to survive. As the first rays of sunlight shine through the windows, Dania finds her chance. She grabs a sharp metal object and stabs David. He falls, wounded. Quickly, she snatches his phone and calls the police. Finally, after enduring so much horror, Dania is free. Her nightmare is over. The police arrive and rescue her from David's house. Everyone who doubted her, the townspeople, her family, even her friends, realize the terrible mistake they made in believing David's lies. Now, they are relieved and overjoyed that Dania survived. The film ends with the powerful image of Dania being taken away to safety, finally escaping the darkness that almost consumed her. Dear viewers, this was the chilling and suspenseful story of Only Mine, 2013. What do you think about Dania's courage and survival? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss our next movie recap. Stay safe, and stay tuned for more amazing stories.